Hi, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Racing OneCast as we wrap up the first 2 days of the 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Media Tour hosted by Lowes Motor Speedway this week in and around the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Visits from Penske Racing, Richard Petty Motorsports, the Nationwide Series management team, along with trips to the shops of Richard Childress Racing and Joe Gibbs Racing were part of the first couple of days of this year's tour. Penske Racing will have a new look in 2009 in the Sprint Cup Series. Kurt Busch returns in the Miller Lite Dodge. Sam Hornish Jr. also returns in the number 77 Dodge. And David Stremme takes over the number 12 for Ryan Newman. Verizon will sponsor the team, but because of Sprint's exclusive deal as the title sponsor of the Sprint Cup Series, will not be able to use its marks or logos. So the team will be backed by Verizon, but will run a Penske Racing paint scheme Dodge at the Daytona 500. Justin Allgaier also joins the team for a full Nationwide Series season, with Verizon backing that effort. Kurt Busch talked about getting to know his new teammate, David Stremme.
It'll be a little bit of an adjustment with David and just understanding some of his focal points, whether it's the right rear shock or the left front spring. We have to find out what he really focuses on to see how it blends into our pattern of setup. So it just takes a few races. We've been on some test sessions, and it seems like David likes the car just like Sam does, just like I do. We want it to turn good, and we want it to stick good.
The long-awaited marriage between Gillette Evernham Motorsports and Petty Enterprises finally came together, and the new team will be known as Richard Petty Motorsports. And the media got a little sneak peek of the new name and logo when it was unveiled prematurely after Foster Gillette accidentally knocked down the blanket covering the new name and logo.
It goes good with red.
Richard Petty will be part of the new organization and talked about his hands-on role in bringing Richard Petty's name to the next era in NASCAR racing.
Okay, I'm going to basically be doing the same thing I've been doing for the last 8 or 10 years, nothing as much as I can. But, you know, I guess my responsibility or place in the business is, you know, working with the sponsors, doing personal appearances for them, doing whatever I can to advertise our team. And then on the other hand, do everything we can with NASCAR as far as showing up at, you know, 99% of the races, doing the Richard Petty thing. So I don't see my role changing a whole lot in the way I've been running the business or running with the business or working with the people in the business and working with you all the same way. So I don't see me changing anything at all.
Richard Petty Motorsports will field 3 full-time cars with Casey Kane in the number 9, Elliott Sadler returning to the number 19, and Reed Sorensen, who came over from Ganassi Racing, piloting the iconic number 43. New this season is the return of the number 44 to Petty after Michael Waltrip Racing used that number the past 2 seasons. Kyle Petty also competed with the number in 1997 through 2000, and now A.J. Allmendinger will get a shot with the number 44 in what is currently a part-time deal that will start with the first 5 races of the season. The first day of the tour wrapped up with a visit to RCR, where the media met with its 4 drivers, Kevin Harvick, Jeff Burton, Clint Bowyer, and Casey Mears. Bowyer, who will move over to the team's new number 33 entry this season, talked about potentially missing races because he's not locked in.
It's nerve-wracking, you know, not knowing for the last 3 years I've been in the show. I'm not in anymore, you know. We have to go in, and I have a lot of confidence in myself and my team, but nonetheless, anything can happen, you know. It rain out, you know, that could be that could throw out your chance of winning a championship this year, you know, altogether. You know, you miss a couple races because of rain or whatever else. What did we have, 10 of them last year?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
You know, we could miss a race because of Mother Nature, you know, and that makes you nervous.
Day 2 started off with a breakfast with new NASCAR sponsor Ask.com and the Hall of Fame racing team. The team unveiled the new paint scheme for the number 96 Ford. That will be driven by Bobby Labonte with an alignment to Yates Racing. Labonte talked about the importance of having a strong sponsor like Ask.com aboard.
Ask.com is a great sponsor, and they're a great search engine, and they're going to activate the program. I mean, you know, so I know that's just going to be a huge thing. So, you know, you're going to see a lot of ask.com logos on the racetrack, not just on the race car, but do a lot of advertising and everything. So I think that's going to be great for the sport. I mean, that's something that we could use right now.
Following that presentation, drivers from the NASCAR Nationwide Series, including Stephen Wallace, Brendan Gaughan, Mike Bliss, Jason Leffler, Brad Coleman, and more, talked with the media about the upcoming season. Nationwide also announced they'll be adding a Dash for Cash program that will bring $25,000 to the winner's purse at Nashville, Kentucky, Iowa, and Memphis. Only drivers from the Nationwide Series and Cup Series drivers that are running the entire season will be eligible for the new award. The Tour rolled on to Speed's new headquarters, where Kevin Harvick announced that Ricky Carmichael will drive the number 4 Monster Energy truck in 14 events this season, starting at Daytona. Following that presentation, Lowes Motor Speedway announced details surrounding the 50th running of the Coca-Cola 600 that includes special promotions by Coke and Bobby Allison serving as Grand Marshal. Day 2 concluded at Joe Gibbs Racing, where the media met with Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and 2009 Rookie of the Year contender Joey Logano. Be sure to check back here at Racing One for more on the Gibbs team, including comments from the drivers as we lead up to the Daytona 500. And remember to log on here to RacingOne.com for all the latest news and photos from the media tour, and check back for our wrap-up report from days 3 and 4. For Racing One Cast, this is Pete Pistone reporting.